All right, welcome. Ashcast Online, episode 2. My man, Velly, introduce yourself.
Yes, so a lot of people that watch this are probably Gears of War players anyway. So you guys know who I am. If you don't know who I am, I used to be a desk host and a commentator for Gears of War. I was a pro back when Jesus was alive in 2007. um, that life is gone now. It's over. They took it out back and shot it behind the shed. Now I'm a desk host, commentator, and analyst from Rainbow Six Siege. Trying to do my thing in esports, trying to do everything I can to change it as much as possible to add more value to entertainment possible. That's who I am.
So what do you see like needing to be changed right now? Like what was your vision where you're like, I want to change that when you say we want to change it?
It's funny. I talk about it all the time, man. So if you look at esports, so for instance, a lot of up and coming casters or desk hosts or whatever, analysts, they have this belief to where when they're on a microphone or they're on a camera, they have to be so fucking professional, and it drives me fucking crazy. Being professional is good, but just the way they talk, their demeanor, their mannerisms, it's just
like stiff.
It's boring.
Yeah.
It's boring. And like when I come onto a scene, it's like, listen, we're not going to be that way. We're going to have fun. This is video games. Video games are supposed to be fun. So that's why I try as hard as possible to just make that contagious. I came into Rainbow Six Siege and did that. Mm-hmm. And people at first are like, okay, this is weird. This is like watching a basketball game. And then slowly but surely, they're like, all right, we fucking like this. So I feel like esports is in a weird place right now because we're figuring ourselves out. Mm-hmm. But that's basically it, man. I'm gonna break that mold of just people having to be professionals, sticking ass and just boring. Have fun. That's it, man.
It feels like we try too hard to copy that traditional sports. Like, oh, we want to be sports. We want to be considered a sports. And I've never understood that. Like, why do we need that justification? Or maybe it's not justification, but like that verification of like, yes, we're legitimate because we're compared to, traditional sports. Like, who fuck it. Like, we don't need that. We can just be ourselves. We can be gaming, competitive gaming, esports, whatever you want to call it. Like, I don't know.
I think it is?
What?
I think it's the fact, and I mean, no jab to those people, because shout out to them. They do a fucking great job. But I feel like people, they watch the best, and whatever it is, they watch football, basketball, and they see the best at the top, and they try so hard to mimic them rather than make their own lane to be themselves. And I feel like that's why we get a lot of the same rather than a lot of different, if that makes sense at all.
Yeah, it does. And I think a lot of sports a lot of esports that have been around for a long time, like StarCraft, even League of Legends at this point, like Counter-Strike, they've kind of got it figured out where there's like this healthy balance of like the casters being able to go, holy shit, that guy just pulled off this amazing play. What a 1v3. Like everyone can picture like that, like slightly European accent voice for over a Counter-Strike clip, hyping up the crowd and everything. And then you've got like the newer esports, which are trying to be like, no, we want to be prim and proper, and yes, we must wear, and yes, that was an excellent play, indubitably, like it just, that's not us.
Why?
Yeah.
Don't use big words. We don't care. Like, I hate that, man. It's to a point where it's like, if you say a word where people have to stop and think what the fuck it means, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah.
You're doing it wrong.
Yeah.
And one thing I was told, when I joined Siege, there was a person that told me that he hated a caster because his vocabulary was small. This is a caster that you and I both know.
Okay.
Really good. I'm not gonna say any names.
That's fine.
But I said, no, you don't have to be that fucking way. Like, look at Golden Boy. Golden Boy doesn't fucking use big words.
Mm-mm. And Golden Boy does an amazing job, and he can go into any esport and be good at it. Like really good at it. Yeah.
And it kills me, man.
That's something that I've always like tremendously respected about Golden Boy specifically, is his ability to just like, he played Gears once upon a time. Fuck it, I can jump into Gears 5 and host or cast and sound like I know what I'm talking about and be invested and exciting. Like that was something I was excited about when Benson came over too. I always thought that Benson did a really good job.
I love Benson.
He's awesome.
He's like the perfect hype caster.
And he does an amazing job of like calling it how he sees it. Like he doesn't feel like the need to force these narrated stories or whatever the case may be. He can be like, look, like this team is going to beat this team. That's my prediction. Like, or this team is, going to upset this team. And that, for us, it was always something that I took note of because everyone wanted us to lose. And he was like, no, you're fucking crazy. Optic is the best team. They're going to beat that team. Like,
that's why I love Benson the most. Actually, I learned a lot from Benson when I was growing up in his career field because of the fact that Benson didn't give a fuck what he said and what you thought about what he said.
Yeah.
And I took that to heart. And I said, you know what? Fuck it. Why be sheep? Just be yourself. And people are gonna like you. If people are gonna choose they're gonna like you or not. I mean, who the fuck cares? You can't go around life wondering if people are gonna like you if you say some outspoken statement.
Yeah.
And that's basically it.
It's too stressful to worry about what other people think. You start getting in your own head and worrying too much. And frankly, like nobody really gives a shit. Like,
yeah,
everyone has their opinions, but no one really cares. They're not going to remember it a year from now where it's like, oh yeah, that caster said that one thing that one time that I didn't like. Like no one really cares. I want to give a quick shout out to Space Station Gaming. I respect the long sleeve or the hood. What is it? A sweater? A long sleeve?
It's a long sleeve of t-shirt. I don't wear long sleeve t-shirts. This is my favorite now.
Yeah, I love the guys at Space Station. They're awesome people. So I wanted to show a little respect for where it's due. So you're in Rainbow.
I just want to give a shout out to them too. I actually got this at my last LAN in December in Las Vegas. Space Station won the U.S. Nationals for Rainbow Six Siege. Mm-hmm. And they had a booth outside. And when they saw me, oh my God, it was like, yo, Velly, come here. And I'm there with my fiance saying hi to the fans, whatever. So I'll pull up and just everyone there, like, they just showed me so much fucking love. And I'm like, yo, let me buy something. Let me buy this and that. And they're like, free. It's yours. You and your fiance. What size? Take it. And I'm like, why? Like, this is so nice. Honestly, Space Station Gaming is the most kindest fucking org I've ever known in my life, from the top to bottom. Shondora's down to the video creators. They're so amazing. So yeah, shout out to them.
Yeah, I've had a few calls with Shondora's and with their GM unit, and I've just overall, man, like those guys are just really down to earth, cool people, and it's awesome to see people like them in esports. So, but yeah, obviously,
I'm sorry to cut you off, though.
No, you're good. Had to give love. To give love, definitely. So let's talk about, you said you're in Rainbow Six now. How's that been for you? You been enjoying it?
Dude, it has been a fucking roller coaster ride. I'm gonna be honest, Ashes. When I did Gears, it was mixed feelings. For a lot of different reasons. Good and very bad. But when I came to Siege, it was right now, I'm gonna say it's fucking awesome. But from the beginning, it was rough because people were saying, who the fuck is Velly? Why is he in the scene? But at the same time, they said, we're gonna give him a shot. And I'm not gonna lie, I've gone through some very sad phases in the beginning because I had to win over. It's different winning over a community, and it's different winning over a tier 2, borderline tier 1 community. Yeah. In all of esports. We're talking about hundreds of fucking thousands of people. And people they bashed the shit out of me, and whether they were right or they were wrong, it hit me, and it took a toll on me. And I was fortunate enough to live in Europe while I casted Siege last year.
Oh shit!
And yeah, I learned, I got better. People got accustomed to who I was, my personality, the different type of energy and hype that I brought to Siege, because shoutcasting wasn't a thing, and they fucking, like, not even be big-headed. A lot of people fucking love me now. And my stay in Siege right now is fucking amazing. There's a lot of stuff I can't say because of NDA.
Of course.
But Ashes, let's just say that this year, all of my dreams that I've ever wanted to do in esports, where I sat down with Blaze back in the day and said, damn, I wish I could do something like that in that arena. Mm-hmm. I wish I could do this. It's all coming true this year. And it's
awesome,
unreal.
Man. That's so awesome. Unreal. Well, yeah, I remember when you first transitioned over. It was one of your first events. You pulled the trash can stunt, right? And that that either made people love you or hate you right off the bat, right?
Okay, no. So the trash can thing I did at my first major event in Siege. That was August. I put
Okay.
out a trash can, and I did that for a specific reason, Gears related. But it was the very first event in Siege. First off, context. I won a contest to be an analyst.
Yeah.
I won a contest.
I remember that. I remember that.
And they know it now. I knew fucking nothing about Rainbow Six Siege competitively. Like, I didn't know nothing, man. I had to study and learn.
Mhm.
So there was this game, and this guy named Doodle, I love him now. Me and him were good friends. Oh, love Cole. He dropped a donut. He dropped a donut, and I turned to an analyst and the desk host, Jump, and I said, "Hey, I'm gonna roast him. Throw it to me." I was like, let me. I said, "I'm never gonna do Siege again. Let me have this moment." And the analyst said, "Yo, how about you throw a Owen joke at him?" And I was like, "Owen?" He's like, "Yeah, he went 0-7." So I said, "Bet, I'm gonna do it." So I did it. And the audience went fucking crazy. Reddit threads were made, tweets were thrown out. I was getting hundreds and thousands of followers. And that was like, wow, this Velly guy is different. He's funny. He's outgoing. He's not scared to say stuff. So now I'm known for my my wacky props, just saying funny shit all the time. I whipped out a trash can at the Raleigh Major, and people love it. I actually, fun fact, I actually did a giveaway with my trash can, and people went crazy for it, man.
A trash can giveaway.
Yeah, trash can giveaway. I gave it to a guy. He's really young kid in the scene. He's like 14. Goes to every event. I don't know where he gets the money from. I gave it to him, and when he got it, he said, "Yay, look, I'm trash now," and he walks away. And me and the other casters look at each other. We just start dying. But
so what's the story of using the trash can? Like didn't you say something like I'm bringing so and so up for like a interview kind of thing, and then you pulled up the trash can?
Yeah, at E-League. E-League was a fucking dream.
Yeah,
dude.
E-League was so amazing.
You were there. It was. I never thought I'd be on E-League.
Yeah,
I never did. So out of nowhere, we were on the desk, and Icy choked or whatever, and that final round against Ghost Gaming. And so I pinged the producer when Ben was talking. I said, "Hey, I want to use a trash can as a prop. Is that okay?" He said, "Yeah, man, go ahead. Do whatever you want to do." I whipped it out, said, "Hey, this reciprocity in round 13." The audience laughed, and it was a hit. It was a hit.
Yeah.
And I got in a lot of trouble for that.
Well, I know some of the players got really mad too. Like, didn't Rezik get like really mad and was talking crazy?
Want me to break it down? I never went public with this.
Whatever you're comfortable with, man. I've heard bits and pieces, but I don't know the full. I
never went public with this. So first off, TC didn't want me there. TC didn't want me at E-League. It was E-League.
Okay.
So I went there. I had a blast, had my fun, cast my boy PR, did my thing on the desk. The audience loved the trash can bit. The whole audience were laughing.
Yeah, we laughed.
Franchises grow. Everyone laughed. Everyone loved it. I went backstage. Evan came up to me, and I got scolded for it. He's like, "Why would you bring out a trash can?" And I was like, "It was funny. People loved it. Like, I'm an entertainer. What do you want me to do?" And so like he shook his head and walked away. And I was getting food because I didn't eat all day. I had a cup in one hand and a plate of pizza in another. Rezik comes running at me. No, speed walking towards me. And I knew it was a problem because when you're angry and your eyes are watery?
Yeah.
Rezik's eyes were watery. So I was like, okay, he's angry.
Yeah.
What the fuck is about to happen right now? Right?
Yeah.
So Rezik comes up and he's like, "Yo, what the fuck is your problem?" And I was like, "What are you mad about? What are you talking about?" And he was like, "Yo, why you fucking hating on me and my fucking team?" And I was like, "Dude," I was like, "Are you upset about the trash can thing?" He's like, "Yeah, man. Yeah." He starts talking shit. And I was like, "Dude, it was just a joke, just a trash can. Like, no, like, why are you mad about this? Like, what are you going to do? Like, there's nothing to be mad at." He starts yelling. He gets escorted out. So I go up to, I forgot her name, like Shiv, the Indian chick with TC, Indian Lake. And I told her, I'm like, "Hey, Rezik came up to me trying to fight. As you see, I have a drink and pizza in my hand. But just letting you know now, like, he's probably gonna try to hit me, and there might be a case of self-defense. I'm coming to TC, so you guys know. Period.
Yeah.
Whatever. I go to Rose and I tell her the same thing, and then so Reza gets escorted out. Fatal Strike comes up and starts talking wild shit again, and he's doing it in front of E-League and TC.
Okay.
To where he even throws out the point where he's like, yeah, starts talking about him and Rezik wants to fight. So I point at E-League. I'm like, yo, like, you guys see this? Like, I'm just trying to eat my pizza. Like, a man's starving. And then so Fatal Strike walks away, right? And then so I was like, you know what? I talked to Rose for the second time. And I said, you know what? I said, I'm here with my girl. I'm here to have a good time. I was like, obviously reciprocity. Those players aren't happy. Mm-hmm. And I'm just gonna be the big guy here. I'm just gonna walk away. I'm gonna take my girl out. We're just gonna enjoy the rest of the day because I'm done here.
Yeah.
Whatever. I just don't want any more problems with the scene. So we go out, yada yada yada. Next thing you know, that's it for me.
So that whole series of events kind of
I got the blame.
That's crazy.
I got the blame for it all. And the reasoning was because of that. And so I told Rose, I was like, so if I'm in trouble for this, like, what about Rezik? I said, I didn't want to fight nobody. Well, like, what did I do? Like, am I really going to fight somebody with pizza and soda in my hands? Like, my hands were literally full. I'm wearing a suit coat. God damn it. I can't fight in a suit coat. And she gave me no answer about Rezik or Fatal Strike or anyone else that showed animosity. So from that point on,
but there were people there who saw it though, right? Like who
they don't care. They don't care. They didn't care. As far as I know, TC, they worked behind the scenes to get rid of me, and they tried to slowly do it. I feel like that gave them the excuse to finally cut the cord.
I can see that.
You know what? It is what it is at this point. I'm happy. They're doing their thing, whatever. Because people don't realize, and I don't think you remember, San Diego, remember when Jump Death hosted one series?
Yeah.
I found out about that the night before I flew out on accident. The TC got to a point where they didn't communicate anything with me at all.
Sounds
like
familiar.
They didn't want to talk to me at all about anything. And I found out on accident. And, when I go to Rose, I'm like, hey, where's the transparency at? Like, if I'm working for you and I'm being a figure in the scene, like I'm someone that the fans and the players talk to. Like I have a fan base. Like it wasn't like I was just some piece of shit caster with 100 followers. Like all ego aside,
you were a figure. You're a figure in the scene. You've been around. You had the On the Flank show that you were doing for Gears. Like you were doing your own thing in Gears, supporting the game, going to the events. Now you're working it. So like, yeah, you deserve the transparency at least, like out of respect.
I'm not a nobody. So it's like, if you want to replace me, you know what? Talk to me. Maybe I did want to be a caster analyst instead. Like talk to me. And it was just like stuff like that was happening. That happened twice, by the way. And it was time to just cut the cord. So it was just, by the grace of God, whoever's up there, I got the call from Rainbow Six, and I was able to start new. So here I am.
So you saw like this all happened, and then how much longer after that did you apply for that contest that gave you the chance to go be the analyst? Was it like immediate or?
No, this is the cool part about it. E-League was during the summer or something like that, right? Like June?
Yeah.
Or early.
This is where I need that assistant, like Jamie and.
Oh yeah, it happened around like June or whatever, because that was when I was doing Seige.
Okay.
It was the December prior to that event was when I won the contest, but it was after Mexico. I was in the airport, and that was when I got the call from ESL. And shout out to Timo. Timo said, "Hey Velly, I have an opportunity for you." And I was like, I'm all ears. And that's when I got the gig. So when I did E-League, I was heavily involved in Rainbow Six. Mm-hmm. So it was an easy transition. When they said,
okay.
When I got the email saying, "Hey Velly, we're not going to involve you in our events," I said, okay.
Like perfect. But one door's closed, but another door's already open. So
yeah,
adios.
And it's funny because when I got scolded for the trash can thing, that was the Seige community loved it.
Yeah.
Monte Cristo nameless. All the major casters in esports backed me up for that too. And it became a thing. It was my calling card now. So when I go to events, people make me trash cans for me to use on the desk.
I love that. Like custom Velly trash cans from fans.
You
That's
didn't
awesome.
see it. I had a trash can where I hit it. There was an LED fire inside, and it said "hot trash" for me to just do whatever I wanted to do with it.
So you have to have a Twitch emote, right? That's a trash can. 100%.
Yes, I do. I do. So I was able to turn the negative into positive, and that's really it, man. It's sad though because I started off in Gears.
Yeah,
I was a professional gamer in Gears, and to see that happen was that. Not gonna lie, that shit hurts me a lot.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of like heartbreaking, you know, like something that you poured so many hours in and so much love into, and then you know you see it kind of turn its back on you. And maybe not the whole community, obviously, but certain people in control. I can definitely see. I mean, like that would suck. I'd be upset. So,
yeah.
I mean,
and it wasn't like I was like, oh, the man that everyone loves in Gears. I was the villain by choice.
Yeah,
and
you played that character.
Like, I played it, and even though I had people like Nunez and his following that hated me because I kicked him off on the flank, like that, whatever, like that happens. Not everybody's gonna love you. I still I put in a lot of time into the scene. And for that to happen, and how I see what's going on now with you guys, I texted Blaze like a month and a half ago, and I said, "This breaks my heart."
Yeah. Oh, I
told him it actually breaks my heart.
I was on the phone with Kenny. We were just talking about like the state of the game one night after I think our team scrimmed each other, and then I called him. I was like, "Bro, this is awful." And literally while I was on the phone with him, I DM'd Jack Felling, and I was just like, "I miss you." Like no context, just I miss you.
It's night and day. And you know what the thing is about Jack Felling, man? Me and Jack Felling, we had a great friendship that turned rocky, that turned really decent again. And she's the one that gave me a shot in Gears. And the way she did it, from what I've heard, she was like, you know what, like, I'm not gonna let my personal feelings or opinions about Velly get in the way of this. Like, I see something in him, and I'm not gonna let that stop my program from improving.
Yeah.
And she gave me that shot, and it's having that mindset that's really important for an esports to grow. And you see wherever she goes, it changes.
Look at COD.
See what she's doing in Call of Duty. It's insane.
Yeah, killing it.
But that same mindset doesn't seem to exist nowadays with some people in TC, and it's really apparent. You see it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, we see constant. It's so funny that you brought up the transparency and the communication, or the lack thereof, because that's literally something that we're on a daily basis right now as a Gears community as a whole, and even as a pro community fighting. Like, talk to us. Like, if we're asking for one thing to happen and you go the other direction, like and then don't tell us, where did that go wrong? Like, are we speaking a language that's not spoken in Vancouver, or what's going on here? So
as an esport with a lot of money poured into it, you would expect that, man. In Seige, we get patch notes where everything that's changed, they write it out. They're transparent. They let you know.
Yeah.
And in Gears, it seems like you guys can't get that at all. It's like a guessing game. Like, you get on the game, you read the patch notes, but more things have changed secretly.
Yeah. Well, or even the patch notes will say, movement speed increased 3%. Well, what the fuck does that mean? Because 3% of 1,000 and 3% of 100 are very different numbers. So it's like, okay, cool. And you heard what they did with San Diego, right? Did you see all of that drama? San Diego, the first event. So
no,
we were flown out on Wednesday per usual. And I'm sorry for people who've watched other episodes, because I've talked about this before, but we were flown out on Wednesday per usual. Media day's Thursday, and you've seen us in the venue, media day, and then we go scrim when we're not getting our pictures taken or videos done or whatever. We weren't allowed to do that. We were told that we weren't allowed to go warm up or practice or anything on Thursday. And we're like, what the hell? And I started sending emails and text messages like, what we've been doing this for 3 years. What's changed? And I got a reply that was something to do with security. Like, there was security concerns. I'm like, well, what? So I've seen like 100 PGL staff walking around this resort. It was the same place it was last year. So it's like, I know the people are here on site. Just have them post up at the doors, and we have our badges and whatever.
Practice.
We come to find out on Friday morning we have a player meeting, like a pro player meeting with PGL and with TC, and we come to find out that they have released the patch that's coming in a week early. It's on the Xboxes, and so apparently the security concerns are, like making sure the Xboxes are working and people are on the right, because both versions of the game are there. The old one that we've been playing for 2 months and the patch that's coming out next week. That we have no idea what's changed. And we're told it's just slight strafe speed increase, maybe a couple other things, but not noticeable. What we don't know is when the patch notes come out a week later, that it was a strafe speed increase. It was just an overhaul of the movement system. Everything got faster. And because of that, they're claiming, due to those movement changes, the shotgun was completely broken. And that's just a recent discovery that they've come out and said. So basically, like, the way the shotgun works is when you're within a certain range, the game will go, oh, this is close enough to be a chunk. Let me pull the spread together so it actually gives you the chunk, so it feels right.
No way.
Well, which is fine, but what was happening is they've claimed because of this movement, rather than registering from the end of the barrel to your enemy, which is how the shots are, it was registering from your camera, which is 5 feet behind your character, to your enemy. So it wasn't giving you that bullet magnetism and that chunk, even if you were within chunk range. So you're seeing numbers like 98 and 1.
You guys played with that in San Diego, the new patch?
Yeah. No patch notes.
Shut up. No practice?
No practice. We're told Friday morning, and when you guys are warming up for your matches, you might, like, that's what it is. I mean, Gilbert was warming up on the old version of the game because that's what his Xbox was started up on, and the admin came over and was like, no, like, you have to be on this version. That's what we played it in San Diego.
Why? Why is that allowed? You have an event that you literally spent over $1 million on.
$250,000 on the line, or whatever it was, and that was the decision that was made. I made this point in a video. We were the guinea pigs. Our career was test subjects for a patch.
No, what's weird, and I don't think it's I don't think they care too much about it. They don't realize this is your livelihoods. You live your life with money that you make from playing this game.
Yeah.
Like,
or from impressing orgs to pay us salaries to represent them. And, you wonder why there's not that many orgs and gears.
I look at Sneak. Actually, the org thing in Gears is funny. I look at Snake though. Actually, a lot of people don't know I was gonna coach Kyle's team during the first Pro League qualifier.
Mm-hmm.
And I was looking at, and I was talking to a lot of orgs, that I was familiar with, that I was able to build a relationship with through Rainbow Six Siege.
Yeah.
And a lot of them said, no, we were not going to touch that game. And I was like, why? And, I hyped up Gears, I was like, why? And they were just like, this, and that. And they would tell me, I'm not going to talk about that, but
I get it. I mean, I was doing the same thing, after E-League, our little stint with Tox, that was just a one and done event thing. So, and that wasn't like for salary or anything. That was just like, they're friends of ours. We wanted a name to represent. So it worked out. But, after that, I'm out there marketing the hype of Gears 5 and the hype of us ending Gears 4 successfully and the E-League tournament successfully. So, and I have these orgs. I mean, if you can name an org, I've talked to them at some point. And that's in that, like, tier 1, tier 2 org list, right?
Yeah.
And all of them, like, there was a lot of them that were like, we're interested in you guys. Like, as a team, we want you guys and your legacy. We don't want Gears.
I had an org GM tell me, are you joking? Like, is this a joke? I said, no, this is real life.
Yeah.
And I asked them why. They just don't think it's worth it at all, and I can't be mad at them.
No, I completely understand. Was a response that I had to say over and over again, because I get it. Like, whether it be the violence and gore of the game or it be just the state of the scene, like I get the concern, but it sucks.
Orgs don't care about the violence and gore, man. The state of the scene, the way people act, and the way things are ran, that was a major concern with all the orgs I spoke to.
That was a majority of it, yeah. I think I had maybe one or two that were like, the blood and violence, Counter-Strike's already kind of pushing it, but...
which makes sense.
Yeah.
But you even look at orgs like Mazer. I mean, I know you're not going to tell me how much money you guys made on your skin, but look at Mazer. That's lost revenue. And let's say if Gears doesn't even make that much money off of skins, that you're still taking money out of or food out of these players' mouths. You have college, Division A athletes that are in the forefront of your scene.
Yeah.
And they're going off because they're ignored and pushed to the side just because their org isn't that known or whatever reason that they're given.
Yeah.
While every other org is getting these skins.
Yeah, and I tried to understand it at the beginning. Like, if you looked at Mazer's placements, like the last, I don't know, 3 events of Gears 4, like it wasn't a consistent top 8. So it's kind of hard to be like, okay, let's give them a skin going into this game. But they were at E-League. They qualified for the Pro League. They're doing well. Hell, they eliminated us in San Diego, which is, that's kind of after the fact. Great. But like at first I was like, okay, I kind of get it. Like these skins had to have been started a while ago. But at the same time, then you see Simplicity's drop a skin. And you're like, well, then Mazer deserves one. Like, why wasn't there like, hey, Simplicity and Mazer, here's the new skin. Like, like.
I don't understand. I wish I did. Honestly, I can, from the outside looking in, I can say it like, yeah, I'm salty. I'm not involved with Gears. Mm-hmm. I just wish it was all right. I just wish it was right. But
and the building blocks, that's what we keep saying is, the building blocks are there. Like you have the financial backing from Microsoft, and as an esport, $2 million pro circuit, like that's enough to get your feet off the ground for sure. And you've got like the building blocks of a great game, and then it's just the decisions are like 3 steps backwards every time we take a half a step forwards. So, it's...
what's funny? I said it in the beginning too, and I still hold strong to it. I don't know why the circus 2 million. I'm happy you guys are making the money. I don't know why the circus 2 million. I feel like the 2 million was thrown in there just because they thought people would see the prize pool and say, hey, I want to play this game now. All right, new player in the scene. But that wasn't the case. Rainbow Six Siege, borderline tier 1 esport. Our minors last year, Ashes, our minors were $75,000.
Total? Like prize pool?
Total. But the players are still living in team houses, making good money.
Yeah.
And the viewership is up there, constantly climbing.
Yeah.
$75,000 in viewership is climbing, but Gears is $2 million. And when you guys aren't giving weapon skins, you have like 10,000 viewers. What's the disconnect? No one wants to talk about that, though.
Yeah. Well, it's like we're throwing all these, and I say we, the developers or the people running the esports program are throwing these Hail Mary passes to try to make the game continue to grow. Because we saw it. Like, Gears was dead. Like, nobody can deny that Gears was dead.
There's a lot of growth in 4.
And then 4, like the start of UE and like the attempts there, and then 4, there was a ton of growth under like everything that Jack Velling planned out and did. I mean, we saw
a lot.
We saw like what 60,000 viewers at one point for just Twitch.
New Orleans.
Yeah.
Yes, New Orleans, man. New Orleans had the highest viewership, and I love that event, man. We had the best talent staff, the best competition, best games, whatever. We hit almost 70,000 viewers, the most viewership Gears has ever had at a major.
And I think that was just Twitch, right? Yeah, that doesn't count Mixer or YouTube or whatever else they were streaming to. So like, like how did it go backwards with a new game? Like I saw a screenshot that our Gears 5 on Twitch was like 400 viewers lower than some mobile game, like some phone game that's like a fighting game. You know what I mean? Like that's insane.
I can look for Gears on Twitch right now, but I would have to scroll down for so long. It's just...
You need one of those Logitech mice that has the unlocking scroll wheel that you can just flick and let it roll. Yeah, exactly, bro. You need that. In order to find Gears on Twitch, you need that mouse.
But where do we go wrong? I feel like it was... rather than looking at the positives, which was... Not only was that a great game with a phenomenal interview by Praise... But just, I love that interview.
That interview goes down in a Hall of Fame somewhere. It has to.
It was just everything that came along with it. Like the hype from the desk, the hype to the players, hype from the crowd, the type of games. When Gears 5 came around, it was just like, rather than improving what was working, it was more like things were forced.
Yeah.
When I watched Gears 5 from afar, everything looked forced, and I didn't like it at all.
It doesn't feel as organic.
It doesn't feel organic at all. Gears 4, perfect grassroots movement. I would say Gears 4 was a success in the Gears scene.
Oh, I would too. Yeah, I didn't agree with
Success.
everything that happened game wise, like in the game, but as an
Me either.
esport, 100%. It was
On the
pretty
map.
much continual growth, and people started talking about it. People started getting like, oh yeah, like Gears, yeah, okay, yeah, I know that game, or like
People
I've
in
watched
Siege
that.
say that to me.
Yeah.
People in Siege tell me that. And then they always say, I don't like Gears 5.
Yeah.
It got the new escalation was just weird. Just the rule set to it was really odd as well. Just the personalities, the way people carried themselves, it was just really odd. And it wasn't it. The pro league just seems weird too.
And you know what's crazy to me is I remember season 2 of Gears of War UE, like the pro league for season 2, and being at PAX East, having to sub in because Solar's no showed.
That was a great.
Don't get me started on all that. And we're there on, I think our matches were Saturday or Sunday, and so we're there obviously early, and we're at the thing, and on the stage that we're going to be playing on the next day is the Rainbow Six some tournament. It was some finals or something, and this was back, I think, when they were on console before PC. And I remember sitting there going like, holy shit, this game is like boring and hard to watch, and no wonder we had more viewership than they did at that point. And then something happened where like we started to grow more and more, and they just took like giant leaps past us. What happened?
Ubisoft is fucking amazing, Nick. When I tell you that the community managers up to the program managers, esport directors, everybody that ever laid hands or got a paycheck from that scene, they love the audience. And you know how Gears is just split everywhere?
Mm-hmm.
Really, no one. Name a cosplayer.
I couldn't. I know
name a YouTuber. Name a YouTuber that's not in the esports scene.
I can think of 2 or 3 off my head, and that's because I'm part of the TCA partner group. So
outside of that,
I couldn't.
we
with big followings, I can't.
Seige does a beautiful job of bringing everybody together. Yeah, there's always gonna be an argument, but I never thought I'd be involved in just hyping up the cosplay scene. I know cosplayers; they're great friends of mine. We have an LGBT scene that's just fucking amazing. The casual scene, fucking great. The YouTubers, the content creators, the streamers, split from the YouTubers. Everyone is one, and every time we have an event, we praise everybody like a family.
Yeah.
And not only that, but the fixes and the content in the game is what we ask for. Yeah, we need some fixes. We don't like client-side debris and everything else, but they keep adding in stuff that we like to balance the game and add new, fresh content. The game changes every 3 months. And with that being said, it's just...
How do they change it?
Wow. So whenever... Every season, every ranked season, at the end, we bring in 2 new operators, 2 new players that you can use. And those operators change the meta tenfold.
Okay.
They can, right now we have Callie and Wamai. Wamai is a secondary version of a really strong defender, and Wamai is the first sniper in the game. And just like everything changes, so it's like a brand new game.
Yeah.
You're playing a new game all over again. Gears 5 and Gears 4, I mean, you look at it and you really, if I showed you a screenshot of Forge Blitz, you would be like, I don't know if this is Gears 4 or Gears 5. I really don't.
I actually, so I have a series that I do on YouTube because I'm trying to upload as much as possible without playing the game as much as possible. So I've been uploading almost daily since 2020 started. And one of the series I'm doing is kind of have you heard of the show Fooled Us with Penn and Teller? Where they have magicians come and they try to like fool Penn and Teller, who are well-known magicians, like with their tricks.
Yeah, we just had an event in their theater. Yeah, I haven't watched that at all.
So it's a kind of a cool concept. So I started doing Impress Me, where I've gotten like 60 submissions that I've on this spreadsheet. Where
I saw the tweet.
Yeah, where people are sending me clips and like their best clip, their montage highlight clip, and I break it down, watch it, and if it's impressive, like I give you a thumbs up, you impress me, and if not, then I'll tell you why you didn't.
That's fun.
And yeah, and it's an easy way to do it. And one of the things I've noticed a few times is I have to like pause it and like look and be like, is this Gears 4 or Gears 5? Like I don't know.
Stop.
Like I'll have to look at, like, I look at the scoreboard in the top left and I'll be okay, no, those little skulls mean it's Gears like 5. Like, okay, this is free for all. Yeah, right. Like that's I came from League, so I'm used to the game changing every couple months or even every month. And so it's awesome to hear that Rainbow Six is doing that.
Dude, we have an event next month. It's the biggest event in Rainbow Six Siege history, and I'm gonna be there. I'm so happy. And it's like a $3 million prize pool. The beautiful part about it is like they're bringing in cosplayers, they're bringing in casuals, all the content creators, where they all come on stage. We have content creators show matches like
that's
that
awesome.
fill up the day. Like we have everyone involved, man. If you want to grow a scene, that's how you do it.
You're bringing like the whole community together at one event. That's
pros meet the casuals and they meet the cosplayers and everyone just meets, and that's how you grow a game. You get viewership from all those little communities all together.
Yeah.
And when you do that, you're just bound to blow. You're bound to blow.
You've got the YouTube subscribers of somebody going like, oh wait, the esports kind of dope to watch, I might watch. Or the cosplay fans being like, wait, that YouTuber is kind of funny, maybe I'll go sub to his or her channel. Like, I mean, I was at a panel about player development and stuff in New York, November, I think, and I met King George. He was there speaking about streaming.
I love him.
Awesome dude, like really down to earth, easy to talk to. I'd actually love to have him as a guest. I want to reach out to him because we followed each other on Twitter. But like, awesome dude. Like, I would go. I'd never watched him before, but I go watch his content because I've met him. He was an easy, down to earth dude, and it's a good way for me to learn Rainbow Six, which I want to learn more about. So
holla at me.
Well, especially with everything going on, like I've been playing more League than I have ever, but I want to play Rainbow Six more because the game is fun to watch. I mean,
Shady came to our last event at the Penn and Teller Theater, and Shady said, "Oh my god, this game is fucking dope."
Yeah.
Shady's like, "I want to play this immediately."
Yeah.
And that was just like, that was a minor. That was nowhere near our biggest stage or the best that we can provide.
I would love to come. Gilbert and I were actually like joking about how we wanted to go to this big event, but it's like timing wise, it doesn't work out.
Shit.
But I'm definitely like, I'm going to be glued to my computer all weekend watching it, especially because I just watched the Score Esports did the series, or like the little episode on what's his name? You know who I'm talking about? The dude who no, the dude who was like everyone thought was cheating and was banned for 2 years. Yes. That dude is nutty. Holy shit. Good. I've never heard of him before, and I watched that thing, and I'm watching those clips, and I'm going, how? No, he's hacking. Like, I don't care what they say in this episode. There's no way. Like, he's flicking more accurately than Shroud, and I thought Shroud was Jesus reincarnated into an FPS monster.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
It's
insane.
So nuts.
But that's the accessibility of Siege. You were watching that from the Score Esports, and that probably had like hundreds of thousands of views or whatever. Yeah. Like, that's just what we do. Like, it's weird. And also a beef that I had with the Gears community that I tried to shed more light on when I was there. Everyone in Siege shows love to each other. It ain't that way in Gears, man.
No.
It ain't that way in Gears.
People are like almost too prideful in our community. Like, look at the viewership in NA events, or like the attendance in NA events compared to when you go to Mexico. Like in Mexico, you've been there, like it's mass 2,000 people easily.
Yeah.
These NA events where like you're in a dense area for Gears, like San Diego, and it's like even the open bracket teams, after they lose, they go do something else rather than watch. Yeah, they don't support. They don't like. They're like, we lost, and those kids suck. I don't want to go watch them continue to play. Like,
yeah,
pride. That's my opinion. I mean, I'm sure there's more to it, but
there's a lot more to it. But like, even though like I was new to the scene and started streaming, like Bikini Body and all the big people in Siege would just host me. Just send me 1,000 viewers. Go ahead. 1,500 viewers. Go ahead.
That's awesome.
Like, even people that didn't know me, they were doing it. Like, there was another streamer on King George's level, and he comes to my stream in the morning. And he's like, "All right, Velly, here you go." He just drops off all of his viewers.
So cool.
And we all take turns to help each other grow, get affiliate, get partner, just become bigger to help the scene out. And that's just the beauty of it, man. Just no one is selfish.
Yeah,
we love each other.
I saw I saw a similar experience. There was a point where I got really into speed running after watching like one of those events that they do, like
it's
the
so
AG.
Fun to watch.
So I loved Halo, like Halo 1, and I saw somebody
Yeah.
a guy named Goat Rope speed run Halo 1 at one of those events. And I was like, holy shit, this is so cool. And he was doing an amazing job of like every little thing he did, he was explaining.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm gonna go watch him. And so I would watch his stream and his YouTube videos and stuff. And then I started like, all right, I want to try this. So I got the game on PC and started doing it. And there was like a forum website, and I
You tried
like
to speed run?
yeah, I did. I really did. I got really good at the first level. The rest of the levels I was asked, but I like that was one of the things. I reached out to him on this forum site, and I was like, "Hey, I watched you at AGDQ or whatever it is. You were awesome. You inspired me to like learn because I loved this game. Any pointers for like what software I need, like what I should look at, you know, any YouTube tutorials, stuff like that." And he replied like within a couple hours, and he was like, "Yep, here's the software I use. Here's this. Here's this. Here's this. Let me know when you're streaming. I'll tune in. I'll give you pointers." I started streaming it. I have other like world record holder speedrunners tuning in, giving me hosts, sending their viewers my way, giving pointers while I'm like trying to do it. I suck. I'm brand new, and they're giving me pointers like, "Yeah, no, restart it. Try it this way." And like it works. Holy shit, that was awesome. Thank you. So,
okay, I was at a Smash Brothers tournament. I just watched the Smash Brothers documentary. If you don't know it, then you have to watch it. Everyone knows what I'm saying if you guys seen it. And I went to a bar in Arlington, Virginia, and it was a tournament at a Hard Rock Cafe.
okay.
And this guy knew I was new. I told him why I'm here, why I'm in the scene. And as he's beating the shit out of me with Fox and I'm Jigglypuff, he literally stops on my last stock. And he teaches me the game.
Wow.
And we become friends.
In like a tournament.
Tournament setting, literally tournament gameplay. He stops and he's like, "Hey, when I do this, that's when you're supposed to do that. Like, you know, this is how you're supposed to do it."
Yeah.
Chudat invited me to his house to teach me the game too.
Wow.
Chudat had no idea that I was in esports as a commentator. I was just a random black kid that pulled up to an event. So why do these other games have these big friendly communities, but in Gears it's like, man, every man for himself. What do you think causes that?
I've been trying to figure that out too, because my last episode of this, I had on Jippery McLeod, who's like a very well-spoken and outspoken person. Yeah, the snowblower thing. Oh my God, it was so funny. But he's like a well-spoken and outspoken person for the amateur scene. And I felt like I wanted to get a better perspective on the struggles that they're going through. I'm in the group chats and the scrim chats for pros. So I know what we're dealing with and what we're bitching about, but like, how's it for the amateur scene? Because if we have it this bad, I can't even imagine what they're dealing with. And
what's happening.
Yeah, and there was eye-opening stuff that he was telling me that they have to deal with, like teams going into the wrong spots in the bracket in San Diego that come out of open bracket, and nobody realized it. Like things like that are major, but go under the rug because it's an open bracket team. Who cares? And it's just astounding to me to see. Right now the Gears community is in such a divided state, and
even between the pros, the devs, everyone is divided. It's like every man for himself.
Yeah, I mean, Kenny posted on the forums, Kenny being a pro for Reciprocity, and he posted on the forums a very like, hey, here's our perspective, here's why we're complaining. Like, what issues is the more casual community having? Like, do you guys agree? What are your thoughts on this? And he tore a new one. Literally crucified on the forum.
So nice.
Yeah, and I read the post like to see if there was something like where it could have been interpreted as like degrading or him talking down to them or anything like that. And I didn't see anything, but he got crucified in the comment. There was some people who wanted to have a discussion with him, but the rest of them like had their pitchforks at the ready.
Fuck off, Kenny.
Yeah, this is our section, and you guys ruined the game. Like that.
I could never imagine getting into an argument with Kenny. I just can't.
But that was the mindset that they have. So not only do we have the separation of like what feels TC and the esports community, but we have esports versus casual or whatever you want to call that player base, esports versus content creators versus TC. Like everybody, there's like 6 groups right now, all fighting each other in a war. It's
Fight Club.
It's literally it's crazy. It's like I feel like I'm watching like a Gears version of like a Royal Rumble right now. Like.
From the outside looking in, Gears looks like a parody of itself right now.
Yeah, easily. And it used to be like the community was so strong together. Like when Gears was at its lowest point, at least the community was together, right? Like
everyone was solid, yo. Like even like, and that was when I came back to the scene because I went to college. And I came back to Gears 3 and I took on the personas, the old man pro from 30 years ago, and I'm gonna smash you little fucking Gears 3 babies. And I remember mental like, yo, old man, you ain't gonna do shit. But we still like didn't hate each other.
Yeah.
It was just fun.
Yeah.
It was fun.
I mean, you and I, like, even like when I first got into the scene, like you and I were like not close. Like
no, not at all.
Yeah, and then we like started talking, like we both enjoyed Gears or had a passion for Gears, and we started talking, and like whatever like our differences were, like they just kind of went away because we had like a mutual respect for the passion for the game. And now I'd say we're friends, but maybe not super close. We don't talk every day, but like, we
could be close friends.
Close enough where I can DM you, be like, hey, you want to come on the Ashcast? And you're like, hell yeah. So
there has to be I just feel like just so many things are in turmoil right now that it's hard to build these friendships because things are just fucked up. Gears needs a overhaul. I just feel like a lot of people just aren't happy. That's why there's a lot of hate.
Yeah.
There should be no reason why even the content creators are starting beef.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how you know it's bad. And some of them aren't even doing Gears, like they're going back to Gears 3 and doing videos every day on Gears 3 stuff. Like that's come on.
What is
like,
Dome's doing?
He's talking about switching off of Gears. He tweeted about how his plan is to like gradually transition out and by March be in a different game.
God damn.
I don't know if he's going to do it or not. I don't know, like I haven't talked to him. I don't know exactly what his plan is, but that's what he tweeted. So like that, he was, die hard through the worst of times.
Loves it.
Yeah. So, and he was one of the more popular streamers that we'd have that wasn't, like Gold Glove or somebody like that coming in. So, what, like now what?
It is what it is at this point.
At what point is it a wake up call? Like when do you hear the sirens going off over at TC and be like, oh, okay, we actually need to sit down and fix this?
That's actually discussion. I was so I tuned in to a little bit of San Diego and you guys had like really low viewership. Like
oh yeah.
Historically low.
Yeah.
To where like it was sad. And I was like, what is going on? Like I'm looking at the gameplay, just like in between the desk and everything. And I'm like, this isn't Gears. Like what is going on? I just don't know. Like you guys are forced to do something that's not Gears and things are like not good. So why isn't there panic mode right now in TC to where they say, okay, you know what? Maybe we just need to put our egos and pride to the side, our favoritism to the side, and just fix this.
Yeah.
Because people are leaving.
Like look back at what worked. Like look back at, like, again, credit to Jack Felling. Look at what she was doing and why it worked. Like break that down. It's the same thing. Like if a team beats you with a strategy, like look at why that strategy worked versus you. So right now the strategy's not working. Reanalyze, fix it.
Why was the movement touched?
Yeah. Why was it touched and why was it taking the opposite direction of what a majority, the whole pro community is saying?
No one was talking about movement at that point in time.
No.
Like really compared to Gears 4.
Yeah.
Like no one.
Like
I don't know. That's Node Zero.
It's somebody. I said it feels almost like, because I've been there. I no secrets. I've been to the Coalition Studios twice. Once as a TCA partner, once as for like giving feedback on the game, and the feedback that we give and the conversations that we have seem so productive while we're there, and then we leave, and it all goes into some abyss. So like it almost feels like there's just some. I called it an entity, like some figure that is controlling like the decisions, or like saying, okay, we heard their feedback, fuck all of that, we're gonna do this. Because it's not, I feel like I almost refuse to believe it's the people that I've talked to. Like they're not smart. I mean, they're not dumb. They're very smart people. They have I know I fucked that up. They have a passion. they have a passion for the game. They love Gears. And,
obviously, yeah.
And they have, like, it seems to be a good grasp on like what the community wants, and they're doing the things to hear our feedback. So where is it going? Who is this entity? Is it somebody from Microsoft? Is Bill Gates coming in and being like, well, I'm the multi-billionaire and we're gonna do it no, it's but something's happening. It has to be.
It's almost I'm not saying this is the case, but it's almost as if they're inviting you guys for like PR,
as like a
community
show.
engagement.
Yeah.
And then it's just like they just don't care after that. I'm not saying that's what it is, but that's just what it looks like.
That's what it feels like too.
And I've had pro players tell me the same thing, and I'm like, keep trying, keep trying. Year 5, keep trying. You know, just keep trying, and eventually it'll change. But then, well, we're getting older now.
Yeah,
we're getting older. Like these guys, like Eternity. Eternity is at the age where he should be. Eternity can start a family.
Yeah,
at his age, like respectively, and he doesn't have time to deal with the same things that he dealt with when he was 18.
Yeah,
like those days are over with. So let's fix this game. Let's.
You're good.
My screen turned black. That was really weird. Both of them.
You're good.
I think my computer was going to sleep, and I wish I saw my face there. And let's just fix it. But you know, I've been out of the loop since I've joined Seige, so I mean that's really on them at this point now.
Yeah, well,
I think my run in Gears is permanently done. So
I don't. I can't say I blame you, honestly. Like all the love for Gears aside, I can't say I blame you, especially seeing the success of Siege and everything that's going on, man. Hell, I'm not even in Siege, and I'm hyped for the Invitational coming up. So
it fucks me up because everything I did in Gears, I'm doing in Siege. And not only am I getting personal praise by the people at the top, tippity top, the community, and it's the same stuff I did in Gears. And for some reason, I was always treated like I wasn't good enough, or I was just the problem. Like I was the problem, and it's like that's the case. Why am I not the problem in Siege?
Yeah,
I'm moving up at a rap. The pace that I'm moving up is actually scary because it's too fast.
Yeah,
in a good way. And it's like I dealt with depression when I was in Gears. I really did.
Yeah, I think a lot of people do.
Like I thought I wasn't good enough after events. After every event, I felt like I actually had to talk to my girl, and I talked to her about just quitting and just going back to computers full time and just leaving this behind.
I've literally done the same thing, man. I
like that's how I was treated.
I've done the same thing. And that's like, it might sound like I'm being like an emo bitch or something because I obviously have like a successful track record for the most part with our team and everything. But between the shit I was getting of like, you're just a freeloader, like they can win without you. Yeah, they're the greatest players in the world. Of course they can fucking win without me. Like I'm not dumb, but at the same time, I think I help make them better and make their jobs easier. So like, I don't understand like the hate that I was getting, and I don't like just the direction of the game. Like I get it, man.
The winning is there. You know what fucks me up? I actually had PTSD from talking to my superiors in Siege in Ubisoft. I was scared about saying the wrong thing whenever I was around TC or whenever I tweeted. And now when Ubisoft staff talk to me, they talk to me like this, and they're cursing and they're talking to me like actual friends. I'm scared to talk to them the same way.
Yeah,
because of how much trouble I kept getting in with TC because they just had this weird dislike for me.
And you got to figure out like that line of like where does it like acceptable, and then where does it? Yeah, no, I get that. And
it's like I'm starting to open up more now, but I was actually scared of like losing my job whenever I open my mouth. And well, why do people have to deal with that?
Yeah. And you're so, like,
I'm still recovering from Gears.
And at the point you are, or like you were at least in your career, like it wasn't like you were somebody like Monty, for example, who's been around forever and can say pretty much whatever the fuck he wants. And somebody is going to love him somewhere and give him a job because he's amazing. Shit. Yeah, I got to meet him at the esports awards, and I've been a fan of his for way too long. So it was like, holy shit, like this is like my casting hero. Like,
I lost it at the airport when Monty commented on my trash can clip at E-League. I fucking lost it. I thought I was dead. I was like, okay, I quit. Like, this is it. Like Monty, like I actually fanboyed. I don't fanboy about celebrities, but Monty gave me a fanboy moment.
Yeah, and he was backing you. I mean, he's like known for that too. Like I remember the first time at a Worlds where he was like talking about how the NA team was going to win, and he ripped open his jacket, and it was like an SK Telecom jersey or something. Like,
yes, and then the whole train conductor.
Yeah, the Korean hype train.
Oh, by the way, that's one thing I don't see in Gears no more, man. I don't know what route they're taking. Like, there's no more like killer storylines anymore. trash talking isn't talked about anymore. The storylines just aren't there. Like Gears hype. That's what you associated it with.
Mm-hmm.
From the outside looking in, like I'm gonna be real, I look for that, and I it's like a whole like change to the scene.
Yeah, it's because we're getting like all these mixed signals about like you need to be more professional, but we want you to talk trash. But be more professional and don't say these certain words. But like talk some shit. Go ahead, stand up, talk shit, but don't get too hype because we can't have that on broadcast. But no, talk shit about him in the like. Make up your mind. Like I remember Jack Felling saying she wanted Gears to be the UFC of esports.
Yeah.
Like she wanted us to be able to like hype up a match, talk shit to each other, fight each other in game, and then come out of it and shake hands.
People loved it.
It worked.
People loved it.
It worked. And there was a way, like you said, a roadie's interview, post game interview. Like there was a way to be able to talk amazing trash, go viral without saying a single bad word. Like
that we had the highest viewership ever.
Yeah. And
then viewership was just great after that until Gears 5 came. I didn't watch Boston, so I don't know, but that's just it.
Yeah, it's sad. So I want to transition off Gears because I don't want this whole thing to be a Debbie Downer.
I feel sad. I feel bad.
So I want to talk about the Invitational coming up because you said you're going to be there. Are you working it?
So that's something I can't talk about.
Okay, no worries.
I will be there.
Okay. So break down for me because I follow very little. I know G2 was like the team to beat forever. Are they still? They're still a top team, but are they still like?
They're not the same. No.
Okay.
G2 was the best team in history, and they're just so middle of the pack now. They can get first rounded or win an event. You just don't know.
Crazy. So who's like the team to beat now?
Team to beat right now is Team Empire. It's a Russian team.
Interesting.
And so just context, Seige is world fucking wide. It is big in Brazil. You're all over Europe.
Well, Liquid and FaZe have Brazilian teams, right?
Yeah, really good teams.
Yeah.
Too. We have a great team in Australia, Fnatic. And I love saying these big name orgs, man. It's so nice.
I know. It feels good.
It feels so good. But Team Empire right now, they are the best team in the game. A team from Russia. And there's actually a story about Joystick, which follows that team. You can see it on the Score Esports. But they're hands down the best team in Siege right now. That can all change in a month.
And so why is that? What causes that change in a month's time?
Matchups. Is it a heat check where they just hot at that time and maybe teams caught up?
Okay.
Like teams caught up with G2. We won't really know until events come. But right now, from what we see in Pro League, even though they're best of one games online, they have been the most promising team that we've seen, the most explosive.
Okay.
Like when they're at their top compared to if every team was at their peak, Empire is the scariest motherfucking team you could go against.
Interesting. So didn't G2 go on like a 2-year run or something like that, or a 3-year run? Like, wasn't it crazy what they did?
Like what you guys did in Gears 4 without losing at all.
Yeah.
That like they just didn't. You couldn't beat them.
So what happened? Did they have a roster change, or is it just other teams actually caught up?
Teams started to catch up, but also they had a roster change.
Okay.
So when you take a look at teams like Empire, where Shepard, their support player, he can fucking frag out, clutch it out, and win the game for you. Hard breachers and support players aren't known for that.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of NA American teams, like they're frag heavy whenever they build rosters, like Reciprocity, and it works.
Yeah.
G2, they replaced both of their support players recently, and they picked up Cryan, who's a guy from Challenger League, our tier 2 scene, and Uno, who's just a fucking gunner, right?
Yeah.
And it's just, for some reason, it's just not working the way they wanted to.
Okay.
We had a land in Croatia where they just didn't make it out of groups.
Oh, wow.
But
okay.
at the same time, like they can be at the top of Pro League. It's like, why?
The talent is there, but maybe it's not like fully clicking for them yet, or
G2 was a strat heavy team, the smartest team in the smartest fucking team in the game. And they just knew how to counter everybody. They knew how to outplay everybody to where if you're watching, it's like, how do they know all this stuff? And why are they perfect?
Yeah.
Like, Siege is so fucking intricate. And the way they played was like fucking poetry in motion. But when you remove support players and objective players, that type of chemistry changes if you're a strat-heavy team. And their coaching staff, Sua and the rest of them, they're great, but it's just not clicking right now.
Hmm.
It's really odd, and no one really understands why.
Okay.
I don't even think they understand why.
Huh. How big of a role do coaches aren't allowed on stage with them, right?
They are, but you cannot talk during the game. You can only talk during timeouts.
Interesting. Okay, so that's kind of like some Counter-Strike events that I've seen.
Yeah.
How big of a role do you think coaches are, since I'm a coach, in Rainbow Six esports?
Ashes. You would net 24/7 if you were a coach in Siege.
Should I come on over?
Ashes, the level of respect that you get as a coach and an analyst in Siege is actually unbearable. We have the utmost respect for them because they're actually students of the game on a scientific level, to where, like, to be honest, coaches, they're sometimes better than the players, not because mechanically or aim wise they're better. They can outthink you,
like
and
knowledge,
make you look like a fucking
strat.
idiot.
Yeah. Okay.
There's been 2 events in Siege where coaches have subbed in against the best talent in the world, in the fucking world, right? And the coaches are the star of the fucking show.
Wow.
Like, there's a guy named Dizzle in Australia. I fucking love Dizzle, man. He subbed in for Fnatic, and they went on a fucking tear. And it's like, holy shit. There's a guy named Gotcha. Gotcha isn't right now. A lot of people don't like him, and he's not doing as good in Pro League as we all thought he would. But when he subbed in for Evil Geniuses, he went undefeated for like 7 games.
Jeez.
And the Evil Geniuses looked like a better team with the coach. And that was when their best player couldn't play. That's so weird, man.
Yeah.
But it's like that in Siege, man. The coaches, it's their full-time job. They study the ins and outs of the game. They have analysts to support them with numbers.
Yeah.
For everything, and it's insane. The work that they do, I can never imagine doing. They're way too good.
So the reason I was asking is because you see in games like Counter-Strike, Astralis comes to mind, and their coach, and how much he does for that team to just make them look like the unit that they are. Do you see that happen in Rainbow Six as well, where like a coach can come on board a team, like looking at a G2, for example, where like it doesn't seem like they have the talent, but they're not quite clicking? Like, do you see that for other teams, where just a coach comes on board and it becomes a whole new face of a team?
It can happen in Siege all the time. You put a good coach on an average team, you can make that team probably one of the best out there. That's just how much power coaches have, because Siege is just so strat brain heavy.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's insane.
So who do you have? I want to. If you can't say, you can't say. But who do you have winning the Invitational right now?
Oh shit! You asking the right motherfucker right now.
Like, who do I need to look out for as somebody coming in and just like, I appreciate Rainbow Six. I know the very dumbed down basics. Who am I looking out for? Who am I getting hyped for?
All right, so the easy answer is Empire, because they're just fucking good, man.
Yeah, but screw the easy answer.
Russians are so good at Siege, man.
Screw the easy answer.
The Russians are. Fuck the easy answer though. TSM.
Really?
So TSM adopted. I don't know. They didn't adopt anything. You should watch a video from Bolo.
Okay.
It's kind of similar to Shaiko. Bolo was a YouTuber, and everyone thought he was a cheater.
I think maybe I didn't watch that. Okay.
Everyone thought he was a cheater too. He joined the pro scene when he turned 18, and TSM at first, they were trash. They were fucking terrible. Like, I made fun of them on the flank at first, when they were under another name. But they came together. Merc, Achieve, Bolo are just mental summons and Gilbert. That's literally them.
Okay.
Nobody can, like, when they're on individually, they can take over a game when that's not common.
Yeah.
It's not common. And they have a coach as their support player. Pojo, man.
Okay.
He was a former coach, and he is a clutch god. He does everything right. And they added a new player in Geo. He's a flex player from Mexico. And I think his sister is Hinata or something like that. I heard that. Or there's some type of connection.
Voice acting or something?
No. In Gears.
Yeah. Okay.
I heard there's like some type of connection or whatever. But he came to the scene, and this team is just they're the perfect combination of just force and strategy. And it's just when they're on, it's like you're literally watching a fucking montage reel. They're that good.
So if TSM comes out swinging like they should be able to, you have them?
They're gonna win. TSM. Space Station, my second guess, but the TSM by far my number one.
Interesting, because I remember TSM, like I remember them entering the scene. I try to keep a little bit of a track of everything, and yeah, what you were saying, like they just weren't. People were kind of underwhelmed.
They sucked at first. And even if they watched this, I didn't think they were good. And then when they started bringing in these pieces, it's like, okay, something's going right. They won a minor in Montreal, I guess, or somewhere, and then they made another team change, and now they're just this formidable force, and they're really exciting to watch. So when you see TSM playing, just watch them.
Pay attention to them.
It's going to be one of the most exciting games on stream. Trust me.
Is the format for the Invitational something, like a common big tournament where you have group play and then only so many teams make it out of groups and then you go into bracket play? Yeah,
it's like a 2-week thing or a week-long event.
Is the bracket single elimination or double?
I have to double check. I have to double check.
That's fine.
I'm sorry about that.
No, that's
fine.
I've
been so busy lately, so
yeah. No, I get it. I'm trying to get a understanding of like, I don't know, like how is the first round matchups coming out of the
I think it's double elimination. Okay. So yeah.
And you said it's a 2-week thing?
No. It's a 1 week thing.
It's a 1 week, but it goes longer than, it's not just like a weekend. It's like right?
Yeah. And then I have to look at the entire schedule again. Like I said, my brain has been everywhere lately. But I know we have groups, we have playoffs, and then the finals.
Okay.
So I think things start off. So the event takes place 14th through 16th. That's like the event. Okay. But the weekend before that, I believe, is when everything starts with group play and all.
Gotcha. So because we talked about him earlier, tell me about BDS. Like, where do they stand? Because is it Shaiko? That's how you pronounce it?
Yeah.
All right. I'm a Shaiko fan literally from that video, right? Like the dude who was like the villain and like he pretty much kept his mouth shut and did his thing and came back and he's still God.
Yeah.
I'm a fan of that. So tell me about what am I seeing for BDS esports? What's it looking like?
BDS pulls some Gears of War shit.
Okay. It could be a good or a bad thing.
They just came up from Challenger League into Pro League, and right before the very first Pro League game, they dropped one of their best players, and the rumor is for a friend who's also a good player.
Yeah,
but they dropped Panics, so this became a team where everyone loved them, and we all expected them to probably place top 2 in Pro League. To be honest, like a lot of people thought so. So now everyone hopes that they just get first rounded.
Really? Because of that roster change.
And the roster change has happened so recently at the wrong time. We don't know what their ceiling is right now. Because in Pro League, the last game they looked good. But other than that, it was like, this isn't BDS that we know.
Yeah.
This is not BDS. So I'm going to be honest, I don't know how the fuck they're going to do. If they leave groups, they might if they leave groups, they're going to have a good run. But there's a chance that they might not leave groups. They're in there with G2.
I love how competitive it feels. I'm looking at the list of teams here. I love how competitive it feels between, some of these teams, and they're all like, they all feel like there's so many many major things happening, like in terms of orgs being involved.
Yeah, the storylines are so fucking thick in Siege. It's insane. Each group has a story, and that's what I love about Siege, man. You look at Group D, Reciprocity. We all know about them, the individual fucking gods of Siege. G2, BDS, and then this APAC team that came out of nowhere, and they're just fucking awesome. To Group C, having 3 Brazilian teams in there, 3 or 4 Brazilian teams. So we're seeing who the best in Brazil is going to be. And it's just like, wow. I love all of these groups, man. So I can't wait. Like, this event is just going to be fucking dope.
So leading up to the event, you have the Pro League. How does the Pro League work? Like, is it divided by regions?
It's divided by regions. 8 teams per region. You have APAC and, the Korean side of Pro League. But EU and NA, we have 8 teams. The bottom 2, you have to face relegation at the end of the season. But relegation is gone because something big is coming to Siege, and but other than that,
if relegation is leaving and something big, we all can guess the trend in esports, what that might be.
So other than that,
anyways, so you have 8 teams. You have 8 teams.
Two. Oh, sorry.
No, I was gonna say,
got you.
so they play how many matches throughout the season?
They play 2 games a week. Matches per season. Let me actually double check right now. I'm sorry about that.
No, you're fine. I'm pulling it up on my other monitor too. So for people watching, if we're looking off to the sides, it's because
No, it's
we
fine.
don't have. I don't have the luxury of having a third person here to look this shit up for me.
All right, Pro League. I'm gonna have it literally in 10 seconds. The amount of games are 14.
14. So they play each team twice. Sounds like if there's 8 teams, and then how are playoffs? Is it like top 6 or is it top 4 or?
So top 2 in every. So when Pro League is done, we play the set amount of games we're supposed to play. The top 2 teams in every region go to the Pro League finals. The last one was in Japan. Before that, I believe it was in Milan, Italy. We had them in, I think, Brazil, and the top 2 teams from all those regions play each other, and it's just the best of the best.
So it's not a playoffs for your league. It's a playoffs for the entire league.
Yes,
that's beautiful. What? That's awesome.
It's amazing.
That's so sick, and it gives you more international events, which is something that I know, like, for example, League, like, they don't have as many as they would like. So, holy
it's so cool. And even one thing I really love in Australia or APAC, they literally invite their top 8 teams to play in a bracket on land to decide who goes to the Pro League finals.
That's so sick.
It's crazy, man.
And the Pro League's online too, right?
Yes.
So they play the Pro League matches online, and then if you're top 2, you go to this live, pretty much, it's like a mini Worlds
event in some exotic location that you've dreamed about going to your whole life, and you play for a shitload amount of money, and that's Pro League.
And so are the minors for like the Challenger League teams, or how does that work?
You're gonna love this. There's so many parts to this. So we had Dream Hacks last year. BYOBs were teams, first come, first serve. You don't have to be a pro team if you want to enter. But
could pro teams enter?
Yes, pro teams enter. Yes, a lot of them. A lot of them are pro teams only, and there's qualifiers for them as well. So they're kind of like, qualifiers invite only. But even for the BYOBs, if you ever win a LAN, you get invited to a major or the 6 Invitational.
Yeah, I actually, that makes sense, because I saw this. I'm looking at the list of teams at the Invitational, and I'm seeing like Empire, 6 major Raleigh, TSM, DreamHack Montreal.
To all the Gears heads that are watching, this 6 Invitational, the reason why it's the biggest event every year that we have, it is the winner from every LAN or Pro League coming together to play in the ultimate tournament for Rainbow Six Siege for the biggest prize. Nothing but the winners.
So what happens if like a team wins 2? Like, what happens if TSM had won the Raleigh tournament as well as DreamHack Montreal? Like, how do they?
The second place team goes.
Okay. So literally you're just getting the best of the best. Like, no matter what.
Literally the best of the best. No slackers.
So
get
sick.
The bums out of here. Just bring in the top dogs and let them fight it out for $3 million. That's what it is.
That's so. Now, by attending, are you in the it's what, 16 teams? So are you in the money by attending, or like do you actually have to like get to? Do you know the prize pool breakdown, or have they announced that?
They haven't released it yet.
Okay.
I believe everything is going to get announced this week, so we're all going to find out. But that's it. So I don't know how that's going to be.
It looks like last year, no matter what, you were in the money.
You're in the money, yeah.
Wow, first $800,000. Good Lord.
Right?
Good Lord. That's insane. You show up and you get 20 grand.
Yeah, you show up and get 20 grand. So I believe everyone's going to get paid again.
Okay. Yeah, that would make sense. That's awesome. And that was a smaller prize pool. That was a 2 million. You said this coming one's 3?
3.
Do you know any teams that need a coach?
A lot of them. So you can see the way Rainbow Six Siege, they have this big celebration every year where it's like, not only do they praise all these different sub communities, the professional teams, They treat them fucking great.
Yeah.
They treat them great, man. So there's no reason to leave the scene and have, distaste for it.
Yeah.
You're like, wow, I've had the best time of my life doing
Like
Siege.
that I don't feel like I wasted time or energy. Like Siege was great. Like,
you want to know some real shit?
yeah, always.
After my first ever event, I created such a great bond with the casters. I had to leave in the middle of the finals because I lied at work and said I was sick, and I had to go to work the next day. So my flight literally was during the finals. So when I was leaving, I got emotional. I got teary-eyed.
Damn.
And my Stokes and Parker came up to me and they're like, "Hey man, we fucking love you. We're gonna miss you. I hope to see you again." And I told Parker, I think it was Parker Stokes, I was like, what sucks about this? Y'all gonna see each other again in a month. I'm never gonna see you guys again. And I had the time of my life. This was my favorite event of all time.
Damn.
And I'm back now. So this whole journey has been emotional for me, and I'm so happy. That's how great these events are. It's a family, man.
That sounds so perfect.
It is.
It does. Like, it just sounds like they've covered so many bases, and knowing that it's come from like being in a small spot that people were kind of laughing at Rainbow Six as an esport in
it was dead
2016 to now being where it is 3-4 years later. It's incredible.
Yeah, right now we're facing this hacker thing right now where a lot of these hacks came out, and these small problems are here. This is our highest player base ever.
Yeah.
Even during these issues, people still are coming to the game and staying. That says so much about what you're doing with your product.
Yeah.
Your product is that fucking good. Even though they're playing a hacker 1 out of every, whatever games, they still love it. It's that fun.
Well, I think there's something addictive about a single life game mode, but still has the complexities of a really difficult esport. I mean, you have the characters, which add their own layer of meta. You have the maps and the fact that you can shoot through walls and ceilings and shit in the maps. You're not really safe. So that invents a whole new world of strategies. And so it's a single life game mode, which people might think could be boring and it's slow, but there's a precision to the slowness that once you start to get it, you appreciate it and you love it. You get addicted to it.
You're right. And they've done such a perfect job with that. And that's the appeal. I mean, how many games can you go into? You can instantly kill 5 people and you feel empty.
Yeah.
You can up ace somebody and just feel empty.
Yeah.
In Siege, when you get a kill, you're like, fuck
you
yeah.
You earned it. You earned that kill.
Yo, I outsmarted him. I outgunned him. I deserve that shit.
Yeah.
Let's go. There's times where I've gotten kills and I jump up and yell. And I'm like, damn, I'm in a house with people. I need to stop.
Well, they don't hold your hand either, right?
No.
I mean, I bought it, or a friend gifted it to me a while ago, and I played it a little bit with them, and they weren't teaching me the game at the time. They were just like, yeah, hop on and play. And I was like, where? I'm getting shot through a fucking little glory hole over here in the wall that I didn't even know existed behind this shelf of, what the, how do you enjoy this? But I started to,
We're learning new stuff every day. Every time I get on the game, I learn something new, and it blows my fucking mind.
Yeah.
We were in Vegas in December for an event, and someone said something that was just basic, and I looked at him. I said, "Hey, I'm kind of embarrassed, but I never knew that." What? That's so cool. And that's just Siege, man.
It opens it up to creativity. It opens it up to new plays and things like that. There's a meta, but sometimes you can throw off the meta a little bit. You can cheese if you need to.
One thing that's really cool about Siege is that everyone has a personality to their play, and that's what brought me into Gears 1. You can watch players like Laxing from Reciprocity, and when you watch him play, it's so distinctively different than everyone else, to where you just become emotionally involved with his play style.
Yeah.
You're like, this is amazing. I love this game now because this guy plays the way he plays. It looks like he's playing a different game than everyone else. Why? This is so fucking cool.
Yeah, I've seen in highlights, there's the players who play strategic and positions intelligently and know the angles. And then there's the people who are like, I'm going to catch him off guard. I'm going to fly at him and kill him.
Yep.
Because they're so confident in their ability, their aim, their ability to flick or sound whore or whatever the case may be. And
just a style that they use. Oh,
it like you said, it gives that character. Like if every character was the exact same on both teams and there was no names, you could still recognize like, oh, that guy's playing like whoever. I know what he's gonna do, kind of thing. Like that, I like that. It doesn't force one play style.
Nope. And that's what makes it so fun. And with the inclusion of a lot of different operators every 3 months, that's why the game grows, man. They keep it fresh. I mean, the engine, I think there could be a Rainbow Six Siege 2 that could come out and make the game that much better. Mm-hmm. But they just keep releasing stuff that is like, they're like, why stop now? We're growing, motherfucker. Like,
well, something's
working.
The game came out
2015.
2015, did it really? I mean, I know it. Yeah, December 1st of 2015. So it's been around for 4 years. That's insane, and they're still killing it. I mean, like, and this is a game that's not like League where it was their only game, and like they've just been putting more and more time into it. Like this is Ubisoft. Like they have other shit going on.
Assassin's Creed, For Honor, everything you can think of, man. And they still find time to build an awesome team around of developers that listen to our needs and our loves and our dislikes for the game, and they act on it every single time.
So let me
nail on the head.
Let me ask you, how you said that developers and everybody you've like worked with or talked to like does a really good job of listening and understanding like the needs of the game and the community. How receptive are Ubisoft and the developers towards the feedback that is given to them, specifically by like the pro community, the esports community? Obviously, you know why I'm tying this together, but what is that like? Because I've reached out to people from Counter-Strike, from Dota, like pro players or pro coaches at the top level of Counter-Strike, of Dota, of League of Legends, to get feedback on, how do Riot, how does Valve handle that kind of pro player interaction and feedback? So how does Rainbow Six do? How does Ubisoft do?
Rainbow Six, even though Gears flaunted is a public thing sometimes, Rainbow Six, they have these player boot camps, pro player boot camps, where they bring people together, and I don't know if it's Montreal, North Carolina, whatever, but they bring them together and they make them just scrim with the new players and new maps, just like for a few days.
Interesting.
And they really look at the statistics and how things are played, and if someone's really overpowered. And from what I've heard from a few pro players, when they tell them to change something, it gets changed. The only time I've heard it was different was when Goyo came out. He had 3 shields that when it blows up, it's this big radius of fire. We thought that 3rd shield is too much because in our imagination it's too much. They kept it alone. Mm-hmm. They fought back. And so far, Goyo doesn't seem to be OP. Like they seem to be right so far.
Yeah.
So from what I've seen, they're really receptive, and they play with us too.
Like
I play with devs.
You run into them playing the game, and
no, I literally they play with us.
Oh,
like,
wow. Okay.
I literally, like, one of my favorite stacks has a developer in it.
Huh.
Like, and we just play all the time, and he's really good. He understands the game like we do.
Yeah.
So it's not like they're outskilled. They don't know what the fuck they're talking. No, these guys are really good at the game too. So it's like they understand what we're saying.
Yeah.
So it's not like we're talking to a fucking brick wall. We say something to them, and it clicks.
Because they can relate. They can be like, oh yeah, I've experienced that guy being OP, or I've dealt with that issue. Okay.
It's not a personal feeling like, well, I don't think he's OP because when I play, no, it's like, you know what, you're right. Yeah. You're right. Let's change this.
Huh. So, I really like that. And that's something that I always loved about League. So being able to hear it from another game, I think that attributes in a major way to the success of Rainbow Six. From going from dead to, I mean, I would say right now the top 2, if you don't count Overwatch as an FPS, even though it technically is, the top 2 FPSs in esports are Counter-Strike and Rainbow Six. In terms of viewership and player base and prize money, I mean, they've got it all, right? Like only Overwatch. Counter-Strike, which has had 20 years more time than Rainbow Six has had. So of course they're going to be bigger, but still, like it's impressive, man. And in 4 years, I mean, like that's a short amount of time to go from where they were, smaller than Gears, to where they are.
Yeah, and when I came into the scene, I studied a lot of their events so I could learn the game.
Mhm.
And just watching the growth of these events, just the fan base coming out and just the way the events are, shown out to the audience, they listen. They listen, and it gets 2 times bigger every year.
That's incredible, man. I'd see. Makes me. I'm gonna start playing the game. I'm not joking. I want to learn this game.
And the rest of them play the game too.
Who?
Colin Vora,
Yeah.
the coach, he plays. Colin just got the game.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to get people to start playing. We could start customs and just play against each other. I think that'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Content.
I've played a little bit. It was definitely fun, especially the second time where my friends were actually kind of showing me the ropes. Like, okay, like you want to kind of position over here, or you might want to pick this operator. Then like
it's gonna go over your head every single time.
Yeah. So I think one of the things I need to do is just go like spend like a weekend of just grinding the game and like getting beat up and learning that way, because I don't mind, and then going from there.
That's one thing that needs to be spoken about. The skill gap is fucking tremendous for a good reason too. Not a cheap gimmick. Like it's a legit thing. And I feel like that's a big difference between the two scenes I've been involved with in esports. I think that makes a difference in the gameplay, the growth of the game, and also the way the players treat each other. You take a look at Gears of War. Anyone can kill anyone.
Yeah, especially now.
Anyone can literally kill anyone. And it wasn't like that in the past before.
It wasn't like that in Gears 1. It wasn't like that in Gears 2.
Hell no.
I remember I could go into a pub in Gears 1, like by the end of it, like I wasn't a pro. I wasn't even barely a competitive player. I did GB, but not well. And I could go into a pub and know like, okay, like the first round is going to tell me how tough this is going to be, but I could probably 1v4 every round if I need to. Like,
yes. In Gears 1, like if I knew I was better than you, which... this isn't that humble me. I would fuck you up in 10 shotgun fights. I will whoop your fucking ass 10 out of 10 times. The only time you'll ever kill me is if you mess up and get a lucky shot. That's the only way you would kill me. In Gears, not everyone kills each other, and I think that ruins the scene because of the fact that everyone thinks that they're the best now. Yeah. And it builds some type of self-entitlement to where people just don't respect each other. And that maybe goes back to the conversation we had in the past. People feeling like they're not getting a deserving shot because they're able to kill other people in these scrims. They feel like they're better. They're better. Everyone's the fucking best in Gears if you ask them, right?
Yeah.
In Siege, we know our role. we all know the fuck we stand.
And you guys have a good rank system too, right? Like that kind of shows that too.
Yeah. So ranks is kind of weird because you get people that get carried up ranks. So it's kind of wishy-washy. But the level of play drastically different from bronze, silver, gold, plant, that whatever. You see the difference in gameplay.
Yeah,
and it's eye-opening actually.
Well, like a good player, I mean, like let's just say like a solid, like maybe platinum level player. Like if you're down in bronze, silver, you're gonna be able to probably carry those games, right? Like
I've been there. Yeah. I actually after my ranking, I got put down like silver, and I had to work my way up. And I'm like, yo, these guys don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Yeah.
Free kills everywhere.
Yeah, you literally know. I mean, it's the same thing in League. Like they just reset the ranks, and like I'm noticing that on my accounts. Like I'm doing my placements, and I can, if I'm in the right role, like if I'm in a main kind of Slayer role, comparing it to Rainbow Six, like I can carry these games. Like they aren't good enough as a team. They're not going to group up. Like I'll be able to pick them off doing dumb things, like and just snowball myself into carrying. So. Yeah. Like I've seen that in League, and being able to see that in Rainbow Six, and then you get to like when you start hitting your own rank, and it's like, okay, I can't carry. Like I'm gonna need my team because everybody's about the same skill level as me, and I'm gonna need my team to win these. And then you get up to the higher ranks where everybody's like so fucking good, and it's one small mistake that ruins a round, and it becomes like, and that's what people get addicted to, like climbing up, seeing that growth, and then like. Holy shit, like I feel like I'm playing for $100 million right now in this ranked match because everyone is so good.
I sweat. I have not gotten mad at a game in like a decade. I don't get mad when I play games. I fucking rage when I play Siege because I get frustrated because I'm literally trying my fucking hardest, dog. And it's like when I lose, I'm just so emotionally fucking invested in this game and just the strategy and what happened that round. It's like I give it my all.
It's a beautiful
that's what people
rage.
do in Siege. It is.
Yeah, it's like I rage and that sucks and I'm mad that I lost and fuck those kids who cost it for me. But I am so happy that I'm so in love with this that I'm mad right now.
And I'm gonna kill the fuck up after my loss too.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
Yeah, play again. Hell fucking yeah, I'm playing again. God damn it, I'm not ending on a loss. I don't care if it's 4 a.m.
That happens all the time to me, dog.
Literally.
So yeah, I feel like the skill gap is a telling sign about what makes games successful or not.
Yeah.
We see it.
Yeah, I mean it's apparent in every. It's same thing with Counter-Strike. It's same thing with League. I imagine it's the same with Dota. I mean Counter-Strike's the same as Rainbow Six in terms of like they don't hold your hand. If you don't know the spray patterns, if you don't know how to aim the guns, if you don't know what to buy in what rounds, tough shit.
Oh, by the way, I wanted to throw it out there too. In Gears, there's no respect for a tier 2 scene, semi-pros, whatever. Fuck that.
Yeah, no. They're all dirt. They're all trash. We don't want to watch them.
They're all this fucking same.
This isn't my opinion. This is just like, I'm voicing this.
Yeah, general opinion. In Siege, like, we respect the fuck out of tier 2 players. They have fan bases.
Really?
And it's so fucking beautiful, dude. Like, there's tier 2 players that we fucking praise. And it's insane. I built a lot of great friendships with them.
And I'm looking it up right now, but do you see a lot of like orgs getting involved with, like, if they can't grab a pro league team, they're going like, okay, well, like it's still worth getting a challenger tier team.
Yeah, I had a major org involved with Gears that wanted to do that, and they were like persistent on just wanting a challenger league team. Other than that, the big orgs they stay nah.
It's just the first thing that popped up. I was like, it makes sense.
They fell to the bottom. They got relegated.
Rip.
There is one really big org in Challenger League, which in NA, which is Disrupt Gaming.
Yeah.
Other than that, we get big orgs in Europe in Challenger League. Yeah.
Well, Europe has a lot of big orgs now, especially with football clubs getting involved, like soccer clubs getting involved.
Yeah. But it also speaks on the nature of competition in Europe.
Yeah.
Challenger League teams can beat the best team in the world. Like, that's just how good they are in Europe.
Yeah.
So we get BDS, we get Force, we get all these big orgs that come in, Eminem Gaming, and they pick teams up. But if an org has legit money and they want to sell skins, create a fan base, and just get in the ecosystem of Siege, they pick up teams. They buy them out. They buy them out in APAC, Europe, doesn't matter. They get in.
Wow.
Orgs, literally, Complexity tweeted out like, yo, we want to be in Siege.
Yeah.
Like, that's Complexity? Like, what? Like, the Complexity?
Yeah.
So that's just how crazy it is.
That's a dream. That's a dream. All right, so we're running on like an hour and 40-ish minutes. So
I'm sorry.
Trust me, bro. This is great.
We just warming up, man.
Yeah, right. We're gonna have to have you back if people liked it. There's a couple of things that I wanted to touch on before we close out. You're still doing On the Flank.
Hell yeah.
How's that going? You switched it. You've converted it. We're flanking in Siege now rather than flanking in Gears. So how is that going over? Because it started off kind of like a drama show almost, but are you still in that kind of same, like, we're talking about what's going on, or?
Literally the same thing, the same formula I use in Gears. I carried it over to Siege. My co-host, he's Nat Collin, but he brings his own flair. He's a European guy that's really reserved. Demo. And right, that's so funny.
Yeah, right.
And we do a great job. We make it killing. Actually, my growth has been so good recently that I get tweets about it all the time. I had to pay to start putting it on Spotify.
Wow.
And in podcasts where people listen to it when they're driving or at work or just doing whatever.
That's awesome.
Like, that's how much it's grown now.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I want to do with the Ashcast. I started to set that up, and then I have to figure all that out. But I kind of want to grow it a little bit more organically. But I mean, that's awesome to see with On the Flank, because I knew it was it was like a passion project for you.
It's my baby, man. I love On the Flank, and I would never let On the Flank go. I cried when I had to stop doing it for Gears.
Yeah.
I actually cried. Like, Colin was saying this goodbye, and I cried. Like, during the.
I mean,
I never wanted to stop it.
It's cool, especially because you get to keep, like you said, the same formula. Like, you get to, still, you're involved on a caster level, so there's that professionalism, but you still get to talk your shit, and you get to call people out on their BS. So, like, and if it's going over well, then, like, more power to you.
And they respect it. Like pros would come in, and if I would say their team doesn't do good, if I did it at Gears, Rushies would come in and be like, "Yo, Casper, suck my dick, Tubby." And and Siege, they would say, "Well," they would give their input, and then they'll be like, "All right, we'll try to prove you wrong." And that's just the end of it.
Yeah.
No beef. No beef. I don't have beef with anybody. And it's so fucking dope, man.
That's awesome.
I get love from everybody.
That's awesome. And then along with that, you're doing streaming, right?
Yes.
How's that going?
I never thought I'd stream. I just didn't care about streaming. It's fun. I have a little community now. My Discord is popping.
It's so cool to see when that builds. Like when you start building that like core group of like maybe 20 to 30 people who like just support you. Like that's so awesome.
Every day.
Yeah.
I see him every day. And
it's like a separate friend group.
Exactly. And so I've been inconsistent, but at my top, my viewership, I had an average of 85.
Damn, that's awesome.
And starting, new in a new video game, it was just great. So yeah, I'm gonna start picking back up on streaming a lot more now.
And getting consistent with it and, having a schedule and stuff. And that's awesome, man. So the last part, and this is more of a difficult question. No, it's not like not like controversial difficult. If you had to leave Rainbow Six, like the game ended. Like let's just pretend in a world where the game ended, you can't go back to Gears. Are there any other esports that interest you that you would want to get involved in? Any like other passions? What would they be?
No brainer. I would want to go into Overwatch.
Really? Overwatch? I was expecting you to say Counter-Strike.
Nah. I would say Overwatch because I love it. People talk their shit about Overwatch. I get it, man. Like I get it, but I like the game. I like the fan base. It's fucking awesome. So I've been reaching out to Overwatch for a while now. I had some great talks, and there might be an opportunity present, but that just depends on how my year is with Siege.
Yeah.
But it would be Overwatch hands down. So
really.
Yeah, if I ever get kicked out, you might see me fucking talking about shields and fucking Winston. So we'll see.
Hey, I mean, we've got the San Francisco Shock, so feel free to praise us.
True. Right. I love San Francisco Shock, but yeah.
Yeah.
So, that'll be it.
Awesome. I guess that wasn't as hard as I thought it would be. I was expecting you to be a Counter-Strike guy because it's so close to, I mean, like it's different, obviously, but it's kind of close to Rainbow Six.
Yeah. No, I actually it's a good question for the fact that I never really followed Counter-Strike, so I don't want to go through a phase where I have to learn an entire game all over again if it's been there for so many years. I don't want to do that. I want to create my own lane. I want to be me. And Overwatch, I can be me. Yeah. They would love my personality. They would love the type of person I am. And I've always followed it. And actually, I didn't think I'd be doing Siege full time, so I was actually in deep talks with Overwatch. So that was I could be working Overwatch right now. Not the league, but contenders. So yeah,
but still something like getting your foot in the door, and then I mean that's how it is. You in esports, you get your foot in the door, and then you work your way up. So
yeah,
that's awesome.
So yeah, easy answer.
Easy. Well, do you have anything else any closing thoughts or anything else you want to say before we sign off? Any shout outs or plug yourself for sure?
You know what, man? I was the villain in Gears of War. But at the same time, you'd be a fool to say that I didn't encourage conversation and fun. I never did Gears of War for the money because the money just ain't there for a caster. I did it because it was just a passion. Gears 1 was my favorite shooting game at the time. I was proing it. That was my shit. For any of the Gears fam that's watching, like no matter what your thoughts are about me, I don't give a fuck about that. I still fucking love you guys. Like I literally do. I still think you guys are a big bunch of fucking idiots that up everything. But you know what? I legitimately love you guys. And even though you guys are going through hard times right now, I just hope that everyone just comes out all right.
Yeah.
That's it.
Appreciate that. I'm picturing Conor McGregor's thing where after he won the second belt like a while ago, I want to take this opportunity to apologize to absolutely fucking nobody.
Nah. You know what the thing is? That's the sad part about me leaving so abruptly in Gears. No one really got to know the real me, dude.
Yeah.
That's the one thing I regret. I regret that a lot because they don't realize like it takes a lot to be a villain in esports. The villains are good in esports. But because of that, people just they didn't get to learn me, and I was really sad about that because I love the Gears fam. But I mean, other than that, I just hope everyone comes out on top. If Gears ends tomorrow, I hope everyone bounce back on their feet. I hope it thrives though.
Yeah.
And that's really it. If you guys have a chance, February 14th through the 16th, watch Six Invitational. That's all Velly's gonna ask you to do. Just do it for me.
I mean, I'll be watching for sure.
Please.
For sure.
That's my only shout out, man. I miss you guys.
Awesome. Well, guys, thank you all so much for listening or for watching to the Ashcast Online with my man Velly here. All the links to his YouTube stream, Twitter, all that fun stuff will be in the description of the video on YouTube. Velly, thank you again, man. I really appreciate this.
Anytime, baby.
It's awesome.
Hey, if y'all get y'all shit pushed in, and it's Dallas, right?
Mexico is next.
Mexico. If y'all get fucked up in Mexico like y'all did in San Diego, I'm gonna just roast y'all, man.
We deserve it. But that was embarrassing. I roasted myself.
Hey, tear it up, man. I wish y'all the best of luck. But yeah, that's basically it. Make me proud, all right?
We're gonna do our best, man. A bounce back season. That's what we do.
It better be.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Have a good day, everyone. See you all in the next episode.